Boxing often brings us something that can be pleasant as well as unpleasant. Welcome to the latest edition of Loon Coon Buffoonery, Part 8, where we're calling it Avoiding at All Costs. Recently, Ryan Garcia had a victory over Javier Fortuna, and immediately after the fight announced that he would go up to 140 pounds, deciding that it is important for he to face other challenges. But he didn't stop at that. He mentioned the fact that he would like to see Gervonta Tank Davis take him on, calling Tank out again for the second time after one of his events. The thing about this was, going into the fight against Fortuna, whom he never really focused on during that fight, there was something strange about that whole promotion. But Gervonta Tank Davis's name was there the entire time. Even the fact that Garcia's promoters, Golden Boy, with the figureheads of Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya, speaking ill on championship titles and what they do not mean anymore, because Devin Haney is now the undisputed lightweight champion. Garcia has never won a title, and it doesn't look like he's going to win one anytime soon. So, leave it to earlier this week, where we see Garcia has popped up on a fighter from the UK's DMs. Shout out to the brother Boxing Ego, who did a video on this earlier. The link will be in the description. Blue Blood Sports TV, who stays on top of these type of affairs. Maxie Hughes from the UK has stated that Garcia and his people have reached out to him for a possible match. Now, this is a far cry away from Garcia speaking on Tank Davis, but not surprising, because the objective was never to face Davis. It's never to face anyone who is legitimately a top-tier fighter. Golden Boy, B-Hop, and De La Hoya are marketing Garcia off of his social media popularity, and it has nothing to do with the real business of boxing. And that is why we call this video Avoiding at All Costs. They are willing to spend the money for this man to remain a novelty rather than be a prospect geared toward winning championships, which is why they stated going into the Fortuna fight that it is not important about titles. You see the hypocrisy here. Also, recently, Bob Arum spoke of Vasily Lomachenko returning to the ring. And though the boxing public is chomping at the bit to see Lomachenko challenge Devin Haney for the undisputed lightweight title, Bob says, pump the brakes. He wants to see Vasily have a tune-up fight before Haney, and after Haney faces Kambosos in his rematch that is mandated, then if they're both victorious, they could face off against each other. But how is it that Vasily can dictate what happens. Isn't Haney the champ? Isn't Haney the man that he avoided to be a champ? You see, avoiding at all costs. This is what it is in the sport, and it is very ugly. It is time for the boxing public to wake up and start seeing these fighters, their managements and promotional teams for what they truly are. And when will promoters get back to promoting the fighters, making the fights that the fighters want and that the fans crave? Think about it. When is the last time a promoter went out of their way to make something happen, to deliver the sport into the hands of the public of everything that they look forward to when they sign up for pay-per-views, apps, and tune in on Friday and Saturday nights for bouts? This is something that we have to address consistently and put the pressure on, because trainers make their money training fighters, but they don't manage the fighters all the time. But these promoters have got their sticky little cruddy fingers in everything, and it's hurting the sport. To see how they try to now diminish championships because of who are the champions, who's undisputed, who's really earned their keep. All of a sudden, it is no longer important. It is of no significance. And it is time for boxing to really be put on in a microscope, whether it's going to require federal investigation, whether it's going to require another party to come in. Arum, Hopkins, De La Hoya, all of them have put this together and made it what it is. Also, you have the likes of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. They're doing the same on the other side of the pond. But when it comes down to some of these fighters who do not have what it takes to be world class, they're trying to fool the people, fool the public by engaging these men in meaningless bouts against opponents that are handpicked, where they can showcase talents that are really not cultivated, but enough to fool the casual observer. It is time for this to be exposed. That's why the series of Loon, Coon, and Buffoonery exists, because they have to talk about these things from time to time, and these people need to be held accountable. What can we do? More of like what you see. Blue Blood Sports TV, Boxing Ego, men who are out here in the community with full-time invested opportunities to cover the sport properly, to let you, the public, know what's going on. And then I can come in and say my bit in editorials such as this to really provide you even more insight. How can we get to the bottom of this? We need to do what we can and hold everyone in the sport accountable. That's why we're here. So what will it be, boxing fans? Are you going to sit back, idly by, and allow this to continue to happen to your beloved sport of boxing? Or are you going to take a stand and start condemning these people with their fraudulent practices for the sport that we covet? This is Stormy B. Man. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace, and until the next time we meet, everyone remain safe.